feel like human connection and community. And that's kind of why the Baddies started, is I felt super isolated. My girlfriends in real life are my most fulfilling relationships, and also what you were saying, where I started in the trenches in Olympus and Ulm, and Olympus and Ulm, and Olympus and Ulm, and Olympus and Ulm.
Hey guys, what's going on?
I found a community in crypto and they gave me a voice. They helped me not be afraid to take risks. We've all been in the trenches together. We've had ups and downs. And these guys that I spend 90% of my time in Discord with, they have been there for me and in the darkest moments of my life, you know, when you've been drained, when you've been this, or even for different reasons. They've surprised me and been people that have really been there for me in different areas. But my in real life girlfriends are my most fulfilling relationships. I can't talk to these guys about boys, about nails, about, you know, all of these things we talk about because they don't care, and that's okay, right? But my girlfriends, I can't really talk to them about crypto because it's so like, it has this air of like taboo-ness, or it's hard to get into.
Or they don't understand because nobody understands crypto. Neither do us.
Yes, yes,
exactly.
And so it's like, I realized that if I was feeling this lonely and isolated, the men have to be feeling that way too. And so, because you're spending 90% of your time online and you can't share it with your girlfriend, your daughter, your wife, your sister, anybody in your life, right? So that's been the great thing, is so many people coming up to me and so many, men being like, I get to bring my girlfriend home a shirt, or I got to bring this home to my daughter. And it's like, now you have a way to connect the two parts of your life instead of feeling, that they're separate, because they're not. We can act like they're separate and compartmentalized, but at the end of the day, we all spend 90% of our time, like realistically, in this space. So it's like, it can feel lonely.
So I got started with Berachain before Berachain, like you said. I bought a Bong Bear NFT on day one when it minted, and really didn't do anything else after that. And the rebases happened and everything kept going. And all of a sudden, now there was talk of a chain. And once the talk of the chain actually got started and it started to seem like it's actually real and things might actually happen, then a lot of projects started to spin up. I didn't actually start Beraland. Beraland was started by Witcher and Zero. I reached out to them and I said, hey guys, I like this. I like what you're doing. Can I help? And then we kind of now we're just 3 co-founders, and the rest is history. We really just saw an opportunity for a place for people to come learn about all things Berachain. And the goal is just to make sure that people are onboarded properly. You see too much where on other chains there could be a new app, there could be a new anything, there could be new NFTs, and you don't know unless you're like somehow on the inside. There's so many, it probably doesn't happen so much anymore, but there used to be so many NFT mints happening all the time, and you don't even know about them. And then you go and you hear about it after the fact. You go to their Twitter and there's, 300 people that you follow are already following them, but I didn't hear about it. How did they hear about it, right? So the idea is like, you just come to Beraland and you hopefully can avoid those.
First I want to ask you, what exactly is Berachain?
Ooh, what is Berachain? I think it's funny. It shouldn't be such a complicated question, right? Berachain is a level 1 EVM identical blockchain powered by the proof of liquidity consensus mechanism, which is a new and unique consensus mechanism. And I think, that very infra sounding answer, it doesn't do in any way justice to really what Berachain is, which it's overused, but Berachain is a community of really fun people who like to do cool stuff on chain, like to hang out, like to build things, and they've been working on it for years. So
yeah, I think that's the most appropriate answer, because that's what brought me into Berachain. The community, the vibes, and everything, the schizo.
And I remembered this because it's from 2021. But if you go and you look at the Bong Bears NFT Medium post, they made a post on Medium, and it was called Bonga Bera Pro, and that was when the OG Bong Bear NFTs rebased to include everyone got a Bond Bear. So that was the first rebasing NFT, and they said Ooga Booga Bonga Bera, right? And when I was using Kodiak on day one on mainnet, I said, hey, Bonga seems like a good name, right? It's from the early days, and maybe some people recognize it. But the reality is, why I created Bonga was I was just excited. When Berachain launched, and I migrated my bears over to Berachain, and I was just like, wow, you know, I've been waiting over 3 years. Like, of course, I didn't know when I bought my Bong Bear that it was going to be a chain, but it's like I've held these bears for 3 years, and now I'm finally getting to bring them to Berachain. And I brought them home. I mean, it says it in the description of the coin, right? Like, it's celebrating the Bong Bear is going home, right? And I was just so happy. Like, when the day that Berachain launched was just so exciting, man. I just had to make something to like commemorate the occasion, and it seems people like it. So Bonga.
Craziness and the way that people that are building the most insane, innovative tech stacks or DeFi primitives, those people are the exact same people that take themselves the least serious or posting the silliest, most ridiculous takes online. But I think it gives everybody to come into their shell or come out of their shell, because you're like, whoa, I don't have to take myself too seriously. Look at what all these other people are doing. This person has cracked an egg on their head, but they're building this insane, proof of liquidity, whatever it is, right? And so it's like, I think that also creates this space where people can be themselves, the culture around crypto, or even maybe not even be yourself, but explore different
Don't fall for
avenues. Yeah, exactly.
Berachain didn't really have an official marketing position like for years.
Yeah, and I would sort of argue that we kind of still don't. Like, I think that it's really, I often say, like, I'm kind of an air traffic controller more than I am like pushing narratives, because we do have over 200 projects building. We have people who have been in this eco for years, and even if they're not part of the core team, they're building Berachain just as much as the core team is. So it's more about helping people connect and stay coordinated and not step on each other's toes, more than it is trying to give someone a content brief and tell them what to say. Because when you do
the traditional way.
Yeah, and that's not fun, right? And I think that's like, the whole joke is it's not marketing, but it shouldn't feel like marketing. And if it's actually done well and it's done in a way that's authentic to the community, it doesn't have to feel like marketing.
I think my path is kind of one of the fun paths, because I kind of fell into Berachain over time. I'll give you an example. The first time I heard about Berachain, I was in New York, and I went to a rooftop party that was sponsored by Berachain, and this must have been maybe 2023, I would estimate. And I met a guy named MVP, and he introduced me to Berachain, and I said, would love to learn more and kind of just figure out what this was all about. I didn't really know anything about Berachain at the time. And that was the same day I actually met Smokey and Papa Bear, and they taught me a little bit about what Berachain was wanting to do, and then from there I kind of remained interested. I was always Bera aligned, and spent a lot of my time kind of connecting with other builders in Berachain, hanging out on social media, chatting, learning about projects, things like that, and just staying involved. And slowly over time, we fast forward to 2024, I got a chance to go to Korea Blockchain Week. And that was the first time that I was able to connect with the Honeypot team in person, and I was able to meet Janny. And from there, we kind of just jumped on a chaos roller coaster, and things have been crazy ever since. And it's been a blast.
Oh man, the vibes here are immaculate. There's I wish you could kind of see what I can see right now, but there's over 1,000 people here. Everyone is talking about POL, Berachain, ecosystem. The vibes that we have here, it really feels really good, right?
So it actually turns out that the Berachain is not a ghost chain?
Oh, it's real. Who would have thought? The chain is real.
Tactical nuke incoming!
chain is there.
Couple months shipping the chain and getting it live, and you know, it's really extra special being at Berapalooza this year. Seeing the energy, seeing, you know, what feels like 500 or 1,000 people that all came out to celebrate with the ecosystem, and it's pretty incredible.
Right now, I'm just excited that the chain's actually real after waiting for 1-2 years, and yeah, I'm just excited everything's live and it's going good. I used to run like an augmented reality studio, and then crypto started to intrigue me in around May 2021. I was doing development work just as freelance as I transitioned out of my company, and then that's what got me into crypto. And Berachain came along through a couple friends here in the woodworks in 2022, pretty early. And yeah, I just love the vibes, the eco, and yeah, love the Berachain.
As well with Narra, my feedback about Berachain is just nothing but respect for them, and you know, I think respect is a great word to put it, because they have been super supportive to us. We were selected for the RFA. On the top 10 ones, I think we were the 4th ones receiving most allocations.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
Berachain has been treating us really well, and they have been really supportive. And I told you that we are not a DeFi project, but we want also to bring some DeFi with our token airdrop. And since we told them that we want to bring some DeFi, they have been super supportive as well.
Totally makes sense.
There's a potential, and it's very degen, it's very code driven. There are a lot of people here care about culture. They've been with the Berachain ecosystem, the community, for the past 2 or even 3 years. And our product is a very detailed product as well. It's a 2-hour game, and also it's a lot of smokers. And if you look at the Berachain NFT, the Bong Bear, and even the founder's name Smokey, it's just very vibing with the users here. People here are looking for fun and the new degen stuff, creative ideas. So that's why, 1 year ago, in Denver, last year, the first time I went to the Berachain event, saw this whole, very organic community, the whole vibe. That's the time I made a decision to build on Berachain.
Bera has been doing really well. Even though like the broader market is not like optimal, not fantastic, but I think like the Beras have shown that like within the space, there's still a lot like that you can do on chain. So like I think no matter if you're coming in as a new user on Berachain, like trying to figure out what's happening, you like to mint NFTs, you like to get into token launches, you're like the right curve where you want to do DeFi stuff, or you want to do meme stuff like on the left curve. I think there's a lot of things that like users can already like start doing, and I think it's gonna get more exciting from here.
It's still money, and I think we have to consider that it's users' money. So like if we play around, if we fuck around with their money, like people will not trust on us anymore. So Berachain is playing a big role on the DeFi native side in crypto, and yeah, we all know the Berachain Foundation team. They are super professionals. I think they are doing a great job, but they need to make sure that everything works properly, because I'm sure that Berachain is being a game changer in DeFi.
Yeah, and you have to look at the foundation. On the foundation right now, there is a lot of weight on the shoulders. I think it's Berachain because most of the people know. So it has a mimetic vibe, but also actually it's a DeFi chain. And you coordinated everything. Can you tell us a little bit about the experience of Boyko? Because that was tough.
As funds flowed freely into Boyko's early vaults, news of Berachain's success struck like a thunderbolt. Ethena and Concrete have now answered the call, bringing their treasures to strengthen the haul. Their last-minute delivery now enters Bera lore. Come join Boyko's new vaults with assets galore.
Boyko was pretty cool. It was a project that I was working on for probably like almost 6 months. And it was something that was both like a labor of love and a tremendous amount of work. But I can't complain because I did it to myself. But the goal with Boyko was really to bootstrap a chain, but do so in a way that was very outcome focused. And so I knew the thing that I wanted to achieve in terms of outcomes was I wanted to get funds on Berachain. I wanted to have them in applications and not just on the chain. And I wanted to do it as trustlessly as possible and with as much user selection as possible and as much like information service as possible. And so over the course of a few months, right, we basically, I worked with a few different teams, and most notably the Royco protocol team, as well as Enzo. And Royco built the architecture for the cross-chain deposit module, or CCDM. That's what actually handled all the bridging architecture with layer 0 and Stargate under the hood. And then Enzo, this really, really fantastic team that built all of the scripts that actually handled the deposits of the user funds into applications once they landed on Berachain. And so, the real goal was for as much of this as possible to be done programmatically in an automated fashion, not someone sitting on a multi-sig executing transactions. And over the
flawless.
Exactly. And so over the course of about 4 weeks, we took in $3 billion of TVL. About 100% of that went into Berachain applications. And then from there, we bridged and deposited all $3.1 billion at the time into Berachain dApps over the course of about 60 hours.
So basically, all that TVL that is sitting is distributed to the Berachain dApps.
Exactly, and then the goal was really to hopefully do it in assets that matter, that are productive, right? And so, for example, if you go on Dolomite right now, you'll see that you can borrow ETH in stables for basically the lowest rate of any application on any chain, and that's because of Boyco. And it means that as the chain itself grows and scales, and there's new assets that people want to borrow against, there's liquidity sitting there ready for people to utilize, and it allows things to feel like they function really smoothly instead of having like this stepwise growth function.
Incentives. You have to keep the incentive.
How can you keep these?
That's a good question, right? No, like that's the question that needs to be answered. Because if there's 30% APY on stablecoins and Berachain right now, it only goes to 15%. Now suddenly Sonic has 30%, but Berachain has 15%. It's going to move over to
There is another factor in play, safety. Because you can get a high APR, but you don't have the safety.
Sure.
So,
and that's definitely, security is a great sort of factor to take in, of course. But generally, if there's a huge discrepancy in APY, the risk-reward ratio could be sort of factored in.
It totally makes sense. Other than this, what are you bullish on Berachain nowadays?
Quite bullish on on-chain data. I think that on-chain data is a lot of people give it oversight. I think that it's the true telling of the chain. A lot of people can laugh and talk bullshit about anything and make up all these stories, but on-chain data is the true thing.
Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't fucking lie, right? Just looking at the number of BTC holders, looking at the distribution between the LST holders, looking at the address interactions with the Ooga and the router. All of these things, and using the tools at hand, Nansen, DBank, the Explorer itself, it really gives a lot of insight as to what's going on in the chain right now.
What do you feel about the Berachain trenches right now?
Cooked. It's good.
Do you think we're gonna have like a mini season in Berachain at some point?
That's interesting. A good statistic here to look at in terms of on-chain activity is number of tokens deployed. I think at one point Solana had 80,000 tokens deployed per day. And the max that Berachain had was 1,064. Very specific. I was looking at this morning, so that's why I know. But once we get to those levels, perhaps, potentially.
Yes, it's very interesting graph. I really hope we're gonna go there. I see a lot of people from the Solana trenches leaving because things are really fucked up. People like playing Russian roulette.
Yeah, definitely.
Real life Russian roulette, that's not cool. So maybe the meta is kind of shifting right now, hopefully into DeFi and more fundamentals this time. But we'll circle around in 6 months, in a year, and we'll see that.
We shall see.
So Infrared is a liquid staking protocol on Berachain. We are turning BGT into iBGT and also Bera into iBera, allowing you to use it across the ecosystem while allowing you to earn your yield even though you are staking it. On the educational side as well, we noticed that proof of liquidity already is hard to understand. There's a large technical barrier around that, and then put Infrared on that where we're building infrastructure on top of proof of liquidity. We want to make a lot more educational content around there as well. So allowing people to understand what is BGT, what is iBGT, Bera, and then iBera, and also just creating a lot more content around there.
About TerpLayer.
Sure. So TerpLayer is a Bitcoin infrastructure built on top of Berachain. So we're providing the ability for Berachain to have the same ability like other the Bitcoin layer 2. And also we will customize my stable coin called Bera BTC for Berachain. So people holding that or play with us, they will earn, they could hold the Bitcoin and also play the POL at the same time.
So we've talked to the Bera guys about a lot of really cool ways that we can integrate into the Bera money markets using blockchain. Ticker Bitcoin is the gas token of blockchain. So there's going to be some fun stuff coming up, and we're excited for y'all to see what that means.
Because I'm sure that Berachain is being a game, a game changer in DeFi.
Smilee is a liquid staking token. We have Bera, which is our liquid staking token, and we are building on Berachain. So Smilee has a long story. Because actually Smilee was born as an option protocol on a different chain, hydrogen. And when something clicks and you see this is the place where I want to be. It happened last year, Denver actually. We met the guy from Berachain and we started talking to each other and we found out that the vibes
Let's play.
vibes and the profitability idea was crazy and was good with the slide. So at first we're thinking about how to empower our options trading. Then we sat on the table and we're like, okay, but this still doesn't work in the way that we want, because we want to really leverage on this novelty in the blockchain ecosystem. So we found this idea about Bera. Bera is a liquid staking token. What does it mean? It means that we have our own validator, which is really important for the network, because validators are the one that actually runs the blockchain. So they're vital for this, the existence of the blockchain itself. So we run our validator, and together with this, we create a token which is actually pegged to Bera. And in this way, you can actually stake your Bera, you mint this new token that you can use to trade and do some LP to the pool, do DeFi stuff. Why is cool? Because you have already an 8 to 10% APY on this token. This token is a Bera especially, it's a releasing token, which means every day you go into Smilee and you see the number going up because you see Bera growing. Your number of Bera is growing. And it's funny because doing this, people can use Bera, use it in DeFi, so being in the pools, and get major APY out of that from just a simple Bera. Maybe can give you some good yield, but not a juicy yield such as Bera. The funny thing is that for us, Bera is fundamental because we want everyone to use it. So we are aiming in the future to do some incredible work to have a Bera adopted by everyone. For example, everyone knows that we love Oogas. And we are trying to find a way to put Bera as a payment method for these apps into the bullish case. We want Bera to be setting all the pools against other tokens. So we are doing a huge incentive campaign at the moment. Right now we released the first 2 pools today actually. We released the first 2 pools, WD Bera against Bera and WD Bera against Neft, which are gaining quite a lot of APY.
See the proposals or the rewards boards, how do you think is gonna change the whole game?
Oh, it's definitely going to change the game. Because right now the emissions are essentially just to buy UST Honey and USTC Honey and WBTC Bera, West Bera. But as the foundation starts governance phase 1, and all of these new protocols and the new gauges start getting whitelisted, we'll see just how the different emissions go to different places now. But what's going to be really interesting is to see who gets whitelisted first. Whether that's Kodiak's pools up first, whether that's Stone's markets.
They did the proposal earlier today.
Yes.
Yeah, bringing the schizo to the Berachain, And Berachain, I think it's worth saying that we talk a lot about the great culture on ETH. Well, Berachain has the culture, the linearness of ETH, but with the fast transaction speeds and the low cost of Solana. And that was a big reason for us wanting to build here, is that we see crypto as a holistic thing, not just a bunch of divided camps. And we know that if we give our people an environment where they can create and express themselves, they're going to enjoy themselves. And that's why we chose Berachain, and we're excited to be working with people like you.
I mean, that's what brought me into Berachain, the
Yeah.
storytelling, the schizo.
Baddies is a community. We're not Berachain. We're a community that's building on Berachain. But we're a community for women, whether on-chain or off-chain, to grow, network, connect, and express themselves.
What does it mean to be a baddie? I would say
That's what I think makes me a baddie. I would define a Bera baddie as...
Actually, for me, this is like a first experience.
I think being a baddie is about...
It's the best event so far.
For me, personally,
being 100% yourself.
So we want to educate and empower women in all sectors, not just crypto. We have a very strong community in crypto, and everything we're building, we're focusing on starting with like DeFi primitives and starting for the people in the space, the women in the space. And then we wanted to be able to scale outwards because we have so much inflow of women that want to be exposed to the baddies in some way, whether they know anything about crypto. What our goal is to be able to, you need a creative director, let's find you one. We want a global network of baddies with all different type of interests. If you need advice on skincare, you need advice on like how to start a business, how to do your taxes. We want to normalize asking the stupid questions, Not that any question is stupid, but a question that you yourself are afraid to ask because you may think it's stupid.
Yeah,
so
because you think you're judged.
Yes, so we want to normalize asking all the questions and educate everybody on everything. We want to create like a hub to just, really help women grow and thrive.
So basically, Bera Baddies started from the Berachain ecosystem, but right now it's kind of a multi-chain and it's also non-crypto.
Yeah, well, we're building on Berachain, and the thing is we have tons of baddies. Honestly, majority of our baddies aren't on Berachain. They're women that exist within the space, outside of the space. Women love bears, baddies love bears, but the goal, obviously, everything we do, we're super supportive of Bera. So by saying we're like multi-chain or chain agnostic, that doesn't exclude from that. But the goal is that you don't need to be on Berachain to be a baddie. There is no one type of baddie. You can be whoever you want to be, and however you choose to embrace and express your femininity, whether you're more of a tomboy, whether you like to wear long skirts, maybe you don't like to wear crop tops, that's totally fine. We want to build something for everyone.
Diversity.
Yes, and that however you choose to express your femininity in whatever way that means for you, we want to help support that.
The honey, so many things.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of everything, honestly. I mean, we're Berachain's native community venture studio. We incubate a lot of products, public goods, community activations, NFT collections. I'd say really, it's a cultural hub for Berachain. And I think a lot of the different ways that we help to build Berachain culture and contribute to it have kind of been some of the, I would say, best work that the Honey Jar has done, and kind of some of the things that I'm most passionate about. Henlo leaderboard, in which we were able to invite a ton of communities across Web3 and across crypto into our little Henlo world, right? And really what we were doing is, Henlo is a greeting, right? We're literally saying hello. We're saying hi to other people and providing them an entry path to get exposure to Berachain and kind of learn more and kind of have something to hold on to, right? What almost feels like a home, right? And so Henlo as a brand kind of crosses all these paths. And we started with that and, the claiming period. And now we're setting up for Ramen free sale, which will happen ahead of the launch on Monday. So that would be the next way to get exposure, to participate in a Ramen free sale. And then we have launch on Monday, which is amazing. I think, highly anticipated and everyone's super excited, so.
Because let's be honest, that's the most important thing, the culture and the people that actually support you and that have the same vision as you and retain that culture.
It's really important. I think if you have a good product or service, you will succeed on the long term because it's good, right? People will want it or will need it on the long term. But actually, people usually only stay because of, first of all, community, because people love to be part of something. That's why we are here on this party. And secondly, because the culture is what keeps people alive there. It's what maintains people there.
Yeah, because people at the end of the day need to be part of something and they really need to have a voice in it. That's what crypto brings to the table. People getting involved because once you have a size of that token, you're basically part of the project, right?
Exactly.
So we're talking about the governance, right? In some cases. So you're important. And people at the end of the day want to be appreciated and feel important.
That's why it's really important, as I mentioned before, to, okay, we know what we're going to build, we have a roadmap, but that's why it's really important. Okay, community, culture. And the best thing to grab this community and culture is actually educating our community on what we are building in reality, right? Because what I see a lot of times is the community and the culture go away because the project didn't educate it enough, because I will not spend my time on something that I don't know if it's gonna happen, right? That's why we're building several products to make sure that we build for our community, to make sure that we're building consumer crypto for people to stay.
One-stop shop.
Basically, and now we're launching our AI NFT collection, which is an interesting fact. Because people, like, we are in Web3 and crypto, people love DeFi, they want to degen, they want rewards, they want tokens.
Officially in the Telegram chat, 700, but I think we probably have at least 1,200 baddies around the world that are a part of the community.
That's the highlight of it. You'll get the intersection of memes and DeFi. So asymmetric upside and passive income and just ability to express yourself and have fun.
So, easiest way to explain what Fable platform is attempting to accomplish in the Berachain ecosystem will be something akin to like Treasure DAO's ecosystem and what they did for Arbitrum. Right, so we started with a gaming platform, right? A gaming hub where any game building on Berachain can launch on top of us, giving almost like an index platform for new entrants and new gamers coming to Berachain to be able to hit the chain and find all the games in one location.
Yeah, but I see that in your description I saw something like decentralized media. What do you mean about that?
Right, so that's where the next phase of what we decided to build kind of came to fruition, and that was our intro into creating a lore engine, right? And the lore engine was how do we make lore, whether it be gaming lore, meme lore, and bring those on chain? How do we bring that into an interactive experience and give that a way for people to actually create outside of creating memes and publishing it on Twitter?
I think it actually makes the most sense in Berachain because Berachain is full of lore.
Yeah, so I started in the Bera eco about 1 year ago.
Okay.
CubHub is an augmented reality project where we take NFTs, bring them to life in augmented reality. With each NFT, you have your own 3D character, which you're going to be able to use in metaverses, augmented reality games, and a lot more stuff that is coming soon.
Ramen is a token launchpad that features like some of the best protocols on Berachain. So like on Ramen, you will be able to get allocation into like TGEs for like some of the best protocols like within the ecosystem.
So basically, if you want to onboard on Berachain, you will have to use Ramen to get exposure to new launches. That's token launches, but if you want to get exposure to NFT launches, what do you use?
Yeah, I would recommend using Kingdom Lead.
Tell me more about Kingdom Lead.
Yeah, so we have pretty much like 4 different products. The main one that people know and love is Creator/Mint. It's 2 sides of the same coin. On the creator side, we have a no-code NFT launchpad where People can configure art, upload it to IPFS, customize the contract, deploy it, customize their mint page. And on the mint side, users, you can go find some pretty hype mints, NFT mints, and go buy them there.
But IVX is a hub of derivatives built on Berachain, powered by proof of liquidity. Our plan is to have a whole range of really amazing instruments for you to enjoy, to speculate, to trade, to earn yield from. And we do this through a variety of products. We're starting off with two, an intent-based perpetual market and a zero-day option market, which is coming to you very soon. And in due time, many other exciting derivatives. I think if you're a trader, if you're into DeFi, if you like yields, then I think we have something for you.
Watching.
Sure. Yeah, no, Ooga Booga is essentially the tax aggregator of Berachain. Capture around, I'd say, I need to check specifically, but maybe 98% plus of all swap aggregator volume. That's it.
Bro, what exactly is Honeypot Finance?
So Honeypot Finance, you can think of us as a proof liquidity accelerator. So the major product that we're building is actually to help with token launch. So that comes in two ways. The first way is actually we collaborate with Viju Foundry. We have the FTO model and they have the LPP model and a fixed price model. So we share the models, and for any Berachain project that we coordinated and we launch. So the two front end, one from us, the other from the Viju. People can actually join the same launch from the two communities and go into the same pools, and we do the kind of like a revenue sharing to help to get the most exposure for the Berachain project. Sure.
You are building Narra, you have experience also in auditing. Can you tell me a little bit about this?
So talking about TerpLayer, as you know, I joined the team really recently. I'm the head of business development there. And actually, one of the reasons that really made me accept this vision is because of the fact that the team is not only building one product, they're building several ones, and they're really focused on consumer crypto.
Find it before the agent. Hurry up! Move!
Because our main focus on Berachain is to build gamified AI agents, because everyone is focused on AI agents right now, but not gamified. Okay. So this is a new narrative on the space. So we're building gamified AI agents and virtuals on Berachain. And
market's been a little bit bumpy. I was really surprised to see BTC 83, 84K. It is something that we talked about on our trading show 2 weeks ago, where we discussed the possibility of Bitcoin going to the 70s. So I think there's a chance that the damage isn't done just yet.
Some people are saying this is the bottom for altcoins because they are bleeding very bad for a very long period of time.
Yeah, you're right. Look, I think in this market, this has probably been the hardest bull market ever. Your selection of altcoins has to be perfect, and your rotations have to be amazing if you really want to outperform from a trader perspective. Is this the bottom? I don't know. I think we've seen altcoins go down 80% and then go down another 80% from that point onwards. So I think let's see how it goes. I think there's always some craziness in the market. Having some stable coins is really nice.
When market conditions are bad, the technology prevails. When market conditions are good, the marketing prevails. And if you have both, then effectively you're guaranteed to succeed.
Just launched recently our AI meme agent launchpad, where you can actually, create memes with AI agents, and you can literally do memes and create memes based on your profile and your type of project. We launched the first one with Steady Teddies in collaboration with Steady Teddies.
Nice.
Our vision is really to use this product and to break into the Web2 world, sell this product to the real Web2 users who have no idea about blockchain or who doesn't even have a wallet. So I think the best way is to introduce something that they are really familiar with, or they use it on a daily basis as a smoker or the vape. And from there, we can introduce the earning mechanism, and we can help them to sign up the wallet and to give them the daily rewards more like a cashback instead of like a high yield DeFi protocol, very Web3 digit. That's not the goal. So our vision, our business model relies on selling more real products to the Web2 users, getting those revenues, and to help us to support our token portfolio. There are several different approaches. The first one is definitely use our native vape token to pay for the future pods. So that's even better than the buyback. That's the utility for the token. You have to use our token to buy the future vapes and the future pods. And the other thing is that when we are actually onboarding real smokers, they are not like a degen DeFi traders. Their goal is to enjoy the product, right? Somehow they can earn the cash back. What if they can earn that cash back and keep flowing back to the system, use that cash back to get more discount for the future pods, for the future vapes, for the future flavors? I think that's more important or treasured by those real smokers. They are not here for the 100 times return. They're here for the better use experiences, somehow combining with the blockchain technology. And I think that's like an invention or something that will be more interested when they are comparing us to the other 100 general vapes they can buy from the store shop.
Right? Yeah, so Vault Surfers have been a pretty important part of IVX over the last few months. Vault Surfers are fairly recent compared to other ecosystem NFTs. I mean, they came out late December, so it's been a couple of months, and we do want to reward those who kind of decided to join us on that journey. I think this reward is just the very beginning of what's to come for Vault Surfers. And we begin the next chapter of IVX now on mainnet, and now with Vault Surfers as well. So I think this is the first reward, and of course there's going to be many more in due time. I think for us, Vault Surfers represent a community of traders, but a community of DeFi enthusiasts. And that's what we really want, because those guys are going to have extra perks and benefits from being users of the IVX ecosystem as a whole.
Can we expect the Ooga token?
It's a good question. Should be soon. Should be soon, but I can't remember.
No worries, a little bit of mystery is always good.
Each NFT that you have will be a 3D character. Our app will be releasing in the next couple weeks. With that app, you're going to be able to earn points, play games, complete challenges for Bera, and yeah, that's about it. Get your cup now.
Sounds good. When can we expect the TerpLayer token?
We plan to do maybe around May. Yeah, I think probably a lot of Berachain ecosystem project wait for that time, because the most vulnerable for our token is could play the POL thing, so have to wait for the POL release, and also wait for the boycott release. There are more liquidity on the Bera.
And all of these new protocols and the new gauges start getting whitelisted, we'll see just how the different emissions go to different places now. But what's going to be really interesting is to see who gets whitelisted first. Whether that's Kodiak's Pulsar first, whether that's Stone.
So that we did the proposal earlier today.
Yes.
And right now, as a little bit of a recap and a timeline, so we had pre-boycott, mainnet, and POL is just around the corner. Basically, this is the DeFi catalyst that everybody is waiting for.
Yeah.
Fast on this.
Yeah, exactly. And so right now, you can think of this as like the B0 phase proof of liquidity. And so what that means is that blocks are getting produced, block rewards are going to rewards vaults, but the only rewards vaults are these default rewards vaults, which are the major liquidity pools that live in BEX, which is the chain native DEX. Over the course of the next couple weeks, we already have, I think, probably 16 governance proposals for new rewards vaults that have been submitted in the first 24 hours. Over the course of the next couple weeks, those will start going to governance, getting approved, new rewards vaults spun up. Once that happens, the game is on, right? And we'll start to see bribes coming in. And what becomes really powerful, right, is like for anyone that's playing around with proof of liquidity, earning BGT, delegating BGT, right? You're earning around 155% on your BGT right now, APY, in Honey, which is a stable coin, right? So real yield. And the cool thing, right, is this isn't driven by incentives at all. Right now, this is driven entirely by the trading volumes on BEX, right? And those trading volumes will continue. We're adding a new lever via, we're converting Beck Swap to being a meta aggregator using DeFi Llama's infrastructure. And so there will be another fee driver there, right? But most importantly is that there's been no bribes coming into the system now. And so even today, right, 155% APY, in 2 weeks, there will be a ton of bribes, right? And so, you know, we can't make APY predictions on the show. I'll get in trouble, but let's just say that I think there are a lot of really cool catalysts for driving that demand. And once that demand is induced, right, it creates demand for providing liquidity as well. And so you build out this proof of liquidity flywheel that everyone's talking about.
We have staking coming out very soon. We're really excited about that. For us, staking is all about trying to bridge the gap between community and projects post NFT TGE and then prior to / slightly after ERC20 TGE. So really the idea is based off of the success of Berachain in general. Is a lot of people know that Berachain came from an NFT collection, the Bog Bears, and then the rebases. And so what we've seen is similar to the Hungry Bera and Gacha and all the cool stuff going on with Ramen, is that a lot of the best protocol founders that are very community first have decided to go with an NFT collection as a way to aggregate community, sometimes raise capital. And then on top of that, what they do is they often skip the venture capital fundraising round and give a lot more value to their core community that bought the on-chain assets. And so the way that we're trying to facilitate that time span between NFT TGE and ERC20 TGE is staking. So people will be able to go stake their NFTs and they'll be able to earn points. And then the creator side will be able to customize the way that points are aggregated based on things like interaction with their protocol, based on things like rarity on the token ID, and a few other factors. We're really super excited about staking, and we have some pretty cool projects lined up to take advantage of it.
What can we expect next for the honey jar?
Yeah, I mean, I think Henlo has been our #1 priority, especially now as we approach TGE. And it definitely will remain going into next week. I think something that we are fully focused on and have been able to just throw the full weight of THJ's resources at Henlo. We have such an amazing team. There are so many contributors that work on Henlo. I think a lot of people are surprised when they hear about the number of people that contribute to Henlo. But really, the THJ team is so special in kind of building this IP and this universe of characters and this brand and this thing that people can find attachment to and enjoy. And so, yeah, I think that's been like our #1 priority. Everyone has been heads down, just grinding away to focus on that. But, you know, we also recently had Bulla's launch, which was just amazing. You know, I love the Gods. He's an awesome contributor. He works on Bulla's and Henlo. And he is such a great guy.
The anti-heroes
Yes,
of the
yes.
Berachain universe.
I know, it's amazing. And then we also have Me Bera coming up soon, which I think I personally have been super excited for a really long time. I think Me Bera is probably one of the like first collections that really caught my attention on Berachain. When I found out about
because of the deep lore.
Yes, when I found out about the lore and the amount of detail that went into it, you know, I kind of fell down the rabbit hole for Me Bera. And it was crazy to me to realize how much thought and effort have been put into it. And so like, that's one that I'm really excited for, you know, that's coming up soon and just like, I can't wait. And I think a lot of people in the Me Bera community are going to be very excited.
Say happy birthday, baddies. Secondly, I want to just, whether you're a hater or a lover or a baddie or someone that supports the baddies, everybody here has played a part in where we are today. And so I want to say a thank you to my haters and a thank you to everybody is the reason that we're here. And if you're a baddie watching this, thank you to you, honestly, because we wouldn't be here without you. If you're a baddie that's waiting to get verified or to be a part of the baddies, I'm sorry if it's been a wait. We've really been trying to focus on 1000% without a doubt, saying that it's a real user, a real baddie. And so that is hard to scale. And so we're trying to work on, you know, we have lots of things coming. We want to build some stuff that makes DeFi easy, makes crypto simple. And why do we have to why on proof of liquidity, if I want to like stake VGT or stake something to earn VGT, I have to claim it? Why is there so many steps? Why when I
Too many buttons.
Why is you lose people? And why? It doesn't need to be this complicated. So we want to build things that are easy, cute, and fun.
Thank you for this.
No, thank you. And I like your hat.
And publish these lore stories directly on chain. And so yeah, the IP is growing. The use case for Fable's interactive platform is starting to grow, and we're looking forward to meeting with more and more teams, whether it's gaming projects who want to build deeper lore for their projects, whether it's meme projects, whether it's PFPs who want to build a sense of connection with their holders, and people who are doing white papers and governance books. So it's really, really exciting finding new use cases for more ways to integrate lore into our platform.
The nice thing about having this slightly more phased rollout is that we end up in an environment where applications are launching consistently week after week after week after week. You're going to get so tired of shipping, right? But the end result, right, is that as each new kind of like phase of applications rolls out, it gives folks something new to engage with, it gives more visibility, and you end up with an environment where like net, each application probably gets significantly more visibility than it would have had they just all launched at once.
Thank you for this, Jack. It was wonderful.
Of course.
And I'm really looking forward to Q6, Q7, Q8.
Just if you think Q5 was good, just wait for Q9 now.
Exactly.
Yeah, we love block hunters. Yeah, bringing you cutting edge news. Yeah, so good to see you, my friend. Thank you.